How are y'all? I am so excited. I'm a little stuffy, so we're definitely taking the knockoff Mucinex today. So if I sound a little funny, that's why. But I did not want to miss this opportunity to chat with y'all today. So stop what you're doing, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, not button, but button, and hit the notification bell so you're always notified when a new video goes up. And then let's get ready to jump into this conversation on all things parenting. Let's go. Okay, so now that we've kind of gotten ourselves settled and I'm getting myself settled, I want to talk a little bit about parenting and some of the things I wish I knew about parenting, some of the myths about parenting, and how I'm making it work in each season, because each season is different, right? And a season can last a day, it can last years, it can last weeks or months. It really doesn't matter. It's just a period of time that's different from the one before or the one coming after. It's really what it is, guys, okay? Nothing deep about it. Let's talk about it though, because parenting, y'all, is ghetto. It's ghetto, it's ghetto, it's ghetto, it's ghetto, it's ghetto. Like, let's just start there. We are going to debunk this idea that parenting is always beautiful, always fun, always a thing. It is not. It is not, because nothing is always that way. Even your relationship with God will get messy sometimes. It will get hard sometimes. It will get uncomfortable sometimes. It is not always beautiful. It can't be. It literally talks about sacrificing ourselves. It talks about killing our flesh. It talks about picking up our cross and understanding that it's not going to be easy. So it's not even described as always being beautiful. Okay, so let's let go of that. That's the first myth that we're going to let go of, that it is always easy and beautiful and wonderful and all the things. It is not. Period. Hold on. Because your girl, I'm suffering. Hold on 1 second. I had to go ahead and pop another Mucinex because, y'all, I'm suffering. I am suffering. I'm suffering. But it's not going to stop anything, because we're going to have this conversation. Okay? So let's do it. So we're talking about parenting, and we're talking about some tips, some myths, and some truths, right, about parenting. And the first myth was, it's not always beautiful. It's not always wonderful. It's ghetto. It's real ghetto. And we're going to hold true to that, because I think that one of the things that sometimes people can make a mistake about, and these are parents and people who want to be parents, make the mistake of going in with rose-colored glasses and thinking that no matter what, this is going to be the most incredible experience. And it will be an incredible life lesson. There will be incredible moments, and the majority of it can be incredible, right? But the reality is that the majority of it is also just a lesson, right? Because you learn the most about you through your parenting. You learn the most about your traumas. You learn the most about your triggers. You learn all of those things through your parenting, right? And some of those things that you never thought you would do, never thought you would say, they will come up. It'll happen, because you're human. You are a person. They are people. And we get on each other's nerves. And we don't always understand each other. And we don't always communicate the best. And so there's going to be moments where you're going to feel like you failed miserably. There is absolutely no handbook. There's no handbook. Like, I would say that I have a combination of gentle parenting and traditional parenting, right? So I'm not big on spankings. I'm not big on talking crazy to my kids. I don't believe in any of that stuff at all. But I do also understand that there has to be discipline and boundaries. But I believe in communication. I believe in trying to figure out the root of a problem, because a lot of times when children are acting out, it's not because they're bad. Kids aren't bad, but they don't have all the words that they need to fully express their emotions. And let's be very clear, most adults don't. The majority of us still pitch fits, But then we expect our children not to do that. We still catch attitudes, but we expect our children not to do that. We still do things that don't consider other people, but we expect our children not to do that. Why? We're children parenting children. We're never done growing. We're never done growing, right? And we're also called the children of God. Yeah. So that means that we're constantly being parented. We're children, y'all. So there are going to be moments when we act from an immature or emotionally unstable place. And we have to give ourselves grace, but we also have to give our children grace, right? That's really, really important. So when you're talking about a tip for parenting, I would say it would be give the grace that you want to receive. I tell this to adults all the time, but do it to your children too, right? Give the grace that you want to receive because you're going to need plenty of grace, y'all. It's going to be an uphill battle some days, and there are going to be things that you think you know right now, but when you're in the moment, it's completely different. It's completely different. It's completely different. I think that another tip would be to always seek God first. So, our parents are wonderful and they raised us the best that they could, but they didn't do everything right. Just like we're not going to do everything right. And so it's really important to seek God on how He wants you to parent and allow Him the space to answer you and to understand that the answer may evolve as your child evolves, as your relationship with your child evolves. Okay, but asking him, what do you want? And not just doing things to do it. I have people around me who the way that they parent makes me cringe. I'm sure the way that I parent makes other people cringe. But my hope is that they've sought God on that and that they're doing what they believe that God has called them to do, not just what feels good to them. Because that's what happens, right? Because we feel that we own our children, and so we do what feels best to maintain the commodity. But that's not how parenting is supposed to work. We're stewarding our children because they belong to God. And so how do we steward them? We point them to a relationship with Him. And the best way to do that is that we first ask God how to parent them, how to have relationship with them, so that it best exemplifies our love and adoration for God. So all that we're doing, we're showing love to them, that we're leading them back to Him. And that's what's key, because if you're talking about creating humans that will burn this world up, you can't burn them up in your house. You can't be toxic in your own home. It can't be because I said so all the time. Sometimes it is that because it's for their good and for their health and well-being. But consider having the conversation later. Hey, there was a moment today, something was going on, and I needed you to listen immediately because this will happen. And that helps to give them perspective that you're always looking out for them, but you don't always have time to have a discussion. So they begin to trust you without having to have a discussion first. Right? Set the tone. Set the tone. It's also a myth that every child responds the same way. It's not true. I got 3 kids and each one of them are completely different. And they do things, oh my gosh, so divergent. Like, I mean, yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. And it can make you want to pull your hair out because you feel like you finally got a good spot and you know how to parent this one child really well. Sorry guys, this music is making me sleepy. And then you realize that doesn't really work for all my kids. So how do I adjust and how do I keep it balanced? But again, I think having communication both with your with God, but with your spouse, and if you're not married, with your co-parent, but also with your children, like, hey, I understand that this is a need of yours, this is a want of yours. I understand that you're trying to communicate with me. This is the way that I feel would be best. How do you feel about that? If they're too young for that, then you as a parent being intentional about monitoring your children and how they're responding to you when you're trying different things. And then once you find the right one, being consistent in that. It's about consistency. Once you have found a good spot, be consistent. And then when you see that that no longer works, then being intentional about finding another way. Another way. That's another tip. That's another tip, right? Let's talk about this reality that everybody's not going to be parents. Okay, so let's stop talking over people's wombs. Okay, let's stop that. We're not going to be preaching over people's wombs unless they've asked us to do that. Because everybody doesn't want children. Everybody doesn't need children. Everybody doesn't want more children. And that is okay. People, we gotta stop. Unless, like, you have a close relationship with this person and that's how y'all joke together. That's cool. But this random walking up to people and they only have one kid or they have all boys or all girls. Oh, don't you want? No, stop doing that. That creates a really, 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 really lopsided view of the children that they already have. But it also makes those children feel like they're not enough. Stay out of people's wombs in family planning. Stay out of it. Also, it's a myth that your kids are going to eat tons of fruits and veggies just because you say so. It's a myth. I'm going to tell y'all that right now, okay? I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings, but like, that's a real thing. Like, y'all gotta, these kids get real creative, and you be done found that stuff in the trash can and you be going out your mind. So my suggestion, and one of the best tips I'm gonna give you, go get a multivitamin that has tons of actual vitamins in it, but also veggies, and give them to them kids and call it a day. And stop stressing yourself out about stuff that doesn't matter. There are alternatives. We do not have to do, well, you're not going to get anything else until you eat this. We do not have to live like that. That is stressful for you and it's stressful for your child. Stop. Just go get a multivitamin, y'all. Y'all got a whole lot of life to do with your children. Make memories, good memories. Don't waste it on thinking that they're going to have this perfectly balanced diet. Because real talk, you don't. You got that candy bar on your desk. I'm just saying, because I know I got two. So, I mean, it's really about perspective. It's about perspective. I think another thing that I want to talk about with the kiddos is really having some good parent friends. You can have some good single friends, some good non-parent friends, some good married friends, but you need some good parent friends too. Really good parent friends, because other people don't understand parenting. Okay? They don't until they're in the thick of it. And so you need a safe space where you can talk, but pray about those people too, right? Because you can't share everything. And you don't want to put your children's business out there. And you don't want to, excuse me guys, you don't want to create negative narratives about your family life, because you have to protect that, right? You have to steward all of it well. You have to steward all of it well. Okay, I gotta blow my nose. 1 second. So, you really need safe spaces, and you need to have the safe spaces that God has ordained for you, because those are the people that'll pray with you. They'll talk to you, but they won't talk about you. There is a difference. They're the people that'll stand in the gap for you. They're the people that show up for you. They're the people that you'll feel safest with your thoughts, with getting guidance from. So that's also a thing. That's also a thing. So make sure that you have some parenting friends. Also, it is absolutely okay to take breaks. It's okay. I have one. I have one every month. I have a Saturday to myself, sometimes a full weekend to myself, where I just get to be. And I'm not mommy. I am not wife. I am not friend. I am just Petra Michelle. And I'm by myself doing what I want to do, how I want to do it. And that is important, because you can lose yourself as a parent in thinking that everything has to be about your children. You have to be with them 24/7, and you can't have a life outside of them. Your children do not benefit from a one-note person. Your children do not benefit from someone who is unhappy. Your children do not benefit from someone who doesn't know themselves and therefore can never connect with them fully. So you have to take time for you. It is not wrong. It is not going to hurt you, and it certainly will not hurt your children. But it will bless you all, because you need rest. You need absolute rest. Excuse me, guys. It's a thing. And I also caught this nasty call from them, I'm sure. Or maybe it's from my last trip. Yeah, I travel a lot. It could be that. The kids have so much germs. That's also another thing. Like, you're gonna be the sickest you will ever be in playing around with these kids. Playing around with these kids, y'all. They bring so much germs home. It's crazy. It's so crazy. It's crazy. Also, I think that one thing that I'm learning to do is to really embrace my children's boldness, their confidence, their own voice, their own thoughts. Like, if they want to share their opinions, share your opinions. As long as you're respectful and you're not yelling at me, share your opinion. If you don't feel like that's the right thing for me to do or the right thing for you to do, share that. I want to know, because you have your own mind. God created them as individuals. As long as they're not being disrespectful, talk, share. Let's see what's the right move. Because sometimes you don't know everything. You just don't know everything. And that's okay. That's okay. It doesn't mean that you're a bad parent. It means that you're giving space to become a better parent. You're given space to become a better parent. So talk to your kids. Let your kids talk. Let them share their own thoughts. They have their own minds. And don't take it as disrespectful just because they disagree with you. You ain't right all the time. And they're not right all the time. And it is normal to disagree. It does not mean that they're being disrespectful. We got to stop that. We got to stop that. That does not make them disrespectful. It's just not true. It's just not true. People can disagree without being disrespectful. And your children are people. I think the last thing I want to leave y'all with, because I got to go lay down because my head is pounding, is if you want for your children to love God, you love God first. Love Him. Show them. Be in church. Be reading the word with them. Have nightly devotions or morning devotions, depending on your schedule, with them. Sing worship with them. Like, do all the things. Talk to them about God. Answer their questions about God. Share with them the goodness of God, like the testimonies. Share with them when things are hard and why you're praying for certain things. If you want your children to love God, you love Him first. Show them that. Parenting is not easy, okay? But it is beautiful. But you have to be intentional to maintain the beauty of it. You have to be intentional to maintain the beauty of it. So let me know if there's other things that you want to chat about and when it comes to parenting, and I'll be happy to do another video when I'm feeling better. So let me know in the comments if this helped you, if there's other things that you want to hear about, and I will be sure to come back with part 2. And if you haven't gotten your tickets to the Hey Pretty conference, go to heyprettylife.com to secure your seat for Jacksonville. I don't know why I said that as so long. Y'all, my head is so foggy. Secure your seat for Jacksonville, Florida by going to heyprettylife.com and join us for the Faith Girl Luxury experience. That's it. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.